Hey everybody, Small G Gay. I'm doing a vlog basically for just another mo, and my listeners are upset that I didn't do a program this evening. I did not feel up to it with my allergies, and I just gave you guys two vlogs last night. Two vlogs is 26 minutes of me. That's basically the equivalent of a show without the bumper music, without your Billie Holiday. So anyway, this format is more manageable. I just did one, for example, that was so horrendous. I recorded the entire thing, and it just was so horrendous that I said, darn it all, I have to redo it. And I'm going to... Isn't this bizarre? It's bizarre, and yet we've seen it, It's kind of bizarre that we know. It's like that Masonic eyeball deal, like on the dollar. It's real Dan Brown. This is a close-up. This is detail from the cover of a new book called Ritual America, Secret Brotherhoods and Their Influence on American Society, a Visual Guide. And the authors are Adam Parfrey and Craig Heimbichner. So I'll put a little plug since I'm using their image. It's a very intriguing book. I had the publisher sent me a copy of it, and I was going to give it to the Fagstag, but I'm keeping it because it's so interesting. Oh, poor Fagstag. He knows that I talk about him on these things. He knows that I imitate him, and that I talk about him very often on the blogs. And it's fun. He's a Ron Paul person, so his politics are probably more, informed by Masonic rituals himself than anything else. I draw Masons, by the way. I have some of that element in my family. There you have it. Any doubts that I wasn't part of the problem are now over, right? I like the Masons. I've got nothing against them. I spoke to a high up in the Mason Club here in New York City. Lovely guy. Shall remain nameless, of course. I don't want to wake up, buried under a pyramid or anything. So, anyway, be that all as it may, what else is happening? I was talking to Kyle, and Kyle's all upset that we're not doing a show. Hi, Kyle. Sorry we're not doing a show. I did not want to listen to him, go on and on about Mitt Romney and how everyone in Chicago is liberal, and that's where Mitt Romney will get his votes, and the rest of the state, the real state, won't go for him. They'll go for Santorum. There, I did it, Kyle. I got it off your system. Out of your system. I was telling Kyle that his catchphrase is, it's a conservative thing, and mine is, what else is happening? That is my catchphrase, it seems to be. I read a really interesting piece by Jack Cashill today on the American Thinker called What the Mailman Knows About Ayers and Obama. I like Cashill because he's a real investigative guy. And I also like the conservatives that really go for the get-go, like who's funding who and who's backing what's a cover for what, and who's a communist and all that kind of stuff. I like that level of the conservative movement, Not when it's like full-on Alex Jones, but when it's real, Like Breitbart, I like it when it's grounded in reality, and Cashill's good. A lot of people combine Cashill with the birthers, but he's not really, I don't think Cashill's not really a birther. He is always about like trying to figure out what Obama is, like what is the cover story, why is there this cover story, what's really going on. But Obama, it's Obama, of course there's those questions. But I don't think he ever thought that Obama was from Kenya. His book was very different than that, and the questions that his book rose about who was the father, and why was it so important that Obama be born in Hawaii, and all of these other factors are all still up in question. He was not a proponent that Obama was from Kenya. That said, he has a new piece up about this mailman who delivered mail to the Ayers house. This is the Big Daddy Ayers, Bill Ayers' father, who delivered mail to the Ayers home for like 20 years and kind of knew the mother and the others in passing, Bernadine Dorn in passing, and he talks about the day that he met Barack Obama there, a young Obama who was hanging out there, which would place Obama with Bill Ayers much earlier than the official story. And of course, a lot of people have postulated that it's likely that Bill Ayers paid for Obama's education, basically. It's an interesting piece. But something that was even kind of like a sidetrack story in there that I found even more enticing, because there was video attached, and that always makes it more interesting, doesn't it, in this day and age? He was doing research for his theory that, that was another thing in his last book, all about how Ayers wrote Dreams of My Father, which a lot of people suspect as well. He was doing research while he was looking into that, and he found this interview with New York City power broker Percy Sutton on the New York City TV show Inside City Hall on New York 1. And the interview took place in the spring of 2008, but didn't air until late summer of 2008. I want to read you a little bit from this article in American Thinker. This is kind of interesting stuff. If I can get it lined up properly. Sutton told how 20 years prior he had been introduced to Obama by a friend. The friend's name was Dr. Khalid al-Mansour, the principal advisor to one of the world's richest men. The billionaire in question was Saudi Prince al-Walid bin Talal. According to Sutton, al-Mansour had asked him to please write a letter in support of Obama, a young man that had applied to Harvard. Sutton had friends at Harvard and gladly did so. A few months before the election, it should have mattered that a respected black political figure like Sutton had publicly announced that a fanatic black separatist, backed by an ambitious Saudi billionaire, had been guiding Obama's career perhaps for the last 20 years. It did to the Obama-friendly media, but in a way in which not in a way it would have to real journalists. Moving in swiftly to kill the story were Politico, an insider DC journal run by Washington Post alums, and Media Matters for America, an alleged watchdog group founded by the recovering Troopergate author David Brock. Ben Smith, then of Politico, took the lead. Shortly after the story broke, Ben ran the disclaimer that Barack Obama's campaign is flatly denying a story told by former Manhattan Borough President Percy Sutton. After some conspicuous waffling, al-Mansour denied the story as well. A self-appointed spokesman for Sutton's family by the name of Kevin Wardley sent an email to Smith that read in part, as best as our family and the chairman's closest friends can tell, Mr. Sutton, now 86 years of age, misspoke in describing certain details and events in that television interview. Here's the deal. The kids, Sutton's kids, later said, they told conservative reporter Ken Timmerman that no one in their family even knew who Kevin Wardley was, let alone authorized him to speak on behalf of the family. Interesting. I posted a link. The great thing is you can find this interview from the New York television show Inside City Hall. You can find it on Twitter. On Facebook, on on YouTube. And see why I couldn't do a full show. And you can see the clip. Very intriguing. There's all these little clues, all these strange little clues. What would make someone like Sutton say something so specific with names and no, that's a smoking gun, I think. So anyway, check out the article, check out the clip. Something new and interesting. It seems like we're finding out more intriguing things about Barack Obama every day. Aren't we? It's fun that way. Hello, Genie in a bottle. I love all my friends on Twitter so much. You guys are better than real friends. And Maisie45. Oh, and Jim Carson. I hardly ever talk to you, Jim, but I still like you. I'm going through Romper Room. And Connie Hare, she's kind of fabulous. Hugo Hackenbush is a new must-follow, if you ask me. He's a conservative writer. It's a total, maybe, who knows who it is secretly. It's a secret identity for somebody. Ever since I reviewed Rush Limbaugh's tweeting ability, people are telling me, you're right about Rush Limbaugh's tweeting. So someone had to say it. That's why I'm here. To say the things that none of the others will say. They're all too busy sucking up to everybody. We need people like us just saying it like it is. Whatever happened to Rush Limbaugh? Poor thing. Oprah lost 20% of her staff. Quick follow-up to last vlog. I did fire 20% of her people. Whatever, right? I'm out of time already, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my little investigative reading. And hopefully I'll be feeling better soon. And we'll be back on the radio. Time being, please accept this charming little vlog with a disturbing eyeball floating around as a humble gift to you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.